you trust the most. Jolly's Pharmacy Limited, leading the way in healthcare.
Introducing Jolly's Pharmacy, brand new website, www.jollys.dm. It's your time to jump the line. Shop now at jollys.dm and have your items delivered in the comfort of your office. No more standing in line. No need to use your lunch hour to shop. Hassle-free shopping, safe and secure. Jollys.dm features rush delivery, 1 hour. In-store pickup, regular delivery, 5 p.m. Cut-off time, 4 p.m. It's your time to jump the line. Visit us at www.jollys.dm. Jolly's Pharmacy, leading the way in healthcare.
Jolly's Pharmacy presents a new and innovative radio program, Health Vibes. Health Vibes. Every Wednesday morning on Q95 FM. Health Vibes, hosted by Carlton Lando and Pearl Fontaine Butler. Health Vibes from 10:15 to 11 a.m. It's not just your average talk show. It's appealing and educational with a bit of humor. Real vibes on your health. Now, that's the vibe. Health Vibes on Q95. Every Wednesday from 10:15 to 11 a.m. with Pearl and Carlton. Tune in.
Welcome to Health Vibes, Dominica's most foremost program on health, medicine, nutrition, and wellness, featuring the latest news on conventional and alternative medicine and healthcare. Now, here's your host, Carlton Lando, and co-host, Pearl Fontaine Butler.
Good morning to you, Dominica, and we are so happy to be connecting with you on another episode of Health Vibes this Wednesday. You know that Dominica is one of the most beautiful islands, beautiful sunshine today, and we are so happy to be alive and grateful to God for His mercies and His grace for taking us through another day. Today we have an extremely exciting and informative show for you. I know that many of you are listening and will certainly be glued to the contents of today's show. Pearl, my co-host, is wearing one of my favorite colors, maroon. Pearl, you look super gorgeous.
Good
lovely
morning.
this
Thank
morning.
you, Carlton. Good morning, Dominica. Good morning to all of our faithful listeners. Today, we're very happy to be with you. In today's program, we're going to shed some light on the experiences of a dialysis patient because we wanted to convey some sort of awareness today regarding kidney failure. And we thought it was really important because so many men, so many people, so many women are experiencing kidney failure in Dominica. And today we have a super guest, but before we introduce him, I think, Carlton, we should talk a little bit about the functions of the kidney, what the kidney is all about, the purpose, and let's take it from there.
Okay. So we're going to begin with, understanding what is the kidney. The kidney basically is two bean-shaped organs, each about the size of your fist, all right? They are located just below your rib cage, one on each side of the spine. Every day, the kidney filters at least 120 to 150 pints of blood to produce 1 to 2 pints of urine, which composes of waste and extra fluid. Some of the key functions of the kidneys include they help to filter waste products on the blood. It helps to regulate your blood pressure. It helps with your electrolyte balance, and it also helps to produce red blood cells. Now, you may ask the question, who is most at risk for chronic kidney failure? And people who are diabetic, those who suffer with high blood pressure, particularly when it's uncontrolled, and even people who suffers with lupus, they too. Some of the complications people with kidney failure may experience: anemia, bone disease, heart disease, fluid buildup, hypercalcemia, so high levels of calcium in the body, high levels of potassium as well, and also hypertension. Now, just to understand a bit about the dialysis machine, people with chronic kidney failure, they need to be on dialysis. So they usually connected to a dialysis machine. What is the function of that machine? It's basically to filter the blood and return the purified blood back to the body. Most of these patients are what we call end-stage renal kidney patients, and most of them would have to be hemodialyzed at least 3 times per week to be healthy and to remain function. So basically, this is a nutshell about the kidney and a bit about dialysis. But I know that our guest is going to really, really open up your eyes and your ears and give you a keener insight as to what a patient who has end-stage renal failure goes through.
And as you just heard, the functions of the kidney are extremely significant to our everyday living, our functions, whatever it is that we do every day. The kidneys are very vital. And so we have with us in studio Mr. Lander Bruno, somebody who has been battling kidney failure for the past 17 years. Good morning, Mr. Bruno. How are you?
Good morning, Mr. Bruno.
Good morning, Pearl, and good morning, Carlton.
Well, we thank you for being with us today.
I'm very excited in being here.
Okay. Can you take us through the process? So first tell us, what is your profession?
Right now, for the past 7 years, I'm not doing anything. 7 to 8 years, I'm not really working.
Okay.
But you were a farmer from what you said.
Yes, I used to be a farmer very long time.
Okay.
I did it for a while. But when I fell sick, I was driving truck for a company in Portsmouth, driving, doing delivery. And one day, I was as normal as everybody, feeling okay, come to work feeling good. And I was changing my tire of the truck. So I feel my head kind of reeling me, and I started to feel my head hitting me. So I say, wow, I'm not feeling too well. So I say, okay, let's I go by the hospital. So I take the truck, and I went up by the Portsmouth hospital. When I reached there, I said, Doc, check my pressure for me. I want to go work, and my head hitting me. I don't know if my pressure is high, but I normally don't suffer with pressure. So when they checked the pressure, it was extremely high. So they asked me to take a rest and call the company for the truck. So I lie down there. I was afraid. I just came, why is that? They gave me a tablet to put under my tongue to bring down my pressure. And then they tell me I cannot go to work. I had to stay. I stayed there in the hospital for about 4 hours, rest, and then they send me home on sick leave with some pressure tablets. First time I taken pressure tablet in my life was that year. And then I stayed home for 2 weeks to rest, go back to check my pressure. Pressure still high. So I said, but I was checking it while I was home.
Yeah.
It was still high. It wasn't going down. So I went back to the doctor in Portsmouth, and I told him I want to do an investigation to find out what that caused my pressure to be high, because I never had pressure before. So he told me, okay, he gave me some blood forms to go in the Princess Margaret and do some tests. So I did the test, and after I did the test, I went home. When I reached home, Woodford Hill, the nurse at the time, she passed away. She called me back and she told me, she just see me pass go at my home. Don't go inside the house, come back Margaret Hospital. No. I say, come back Margaret Hospital. And normally before time when I was a man that used to have a lot of girlfriends. So I thought it was the virus. I said, boy, it's I run back Margaret Hospital. And I meet Dr. Dupy. Elias Dupy in Ben's wife. She was the doctor at Margaret at the time. So she sit down watching the paper in her hand, and she looking at me, looking at my legs and things. So I checking, Doc, tell me. She don't tell me nothing, just looking at the paper, and she looking at me, she checking blood. So then she tell me, 75% of my both kidneys gone. Everybody have 100% of kidneys. 75% of my both kidneys gone. So she's checking blood. How come you still standing at 75% of your both kidneys gone? So I say, Doc, you don't mean business. Because we just had a lady in Wesley that died with kidney problem that year. So I say, I'm going to die. She tell me, no, we're going to admit you on the ward. And I said, I'm going on the ward. No, I don't want to go on the ward. Going to die, leave me, let me die. Because I don't know. Anyway, she admit me in the ward, Princess Margaret. Then I stayed there, Dr. Elwin, and them take care of me, help me. Then they tell me I had to go to Guadeloupe to put a shunt and a catheter to start dialysis. So I went to Guadeloupe. When I went to Guadeloupe, they said I'd be ready for dialysis quite one time. So they tell me I can stay for about a month. So they kept me at Guadeloupe, and then I stayed there. Then it was the Christmas time. I went and I started drinking my Ponche Cuba, and I freed up myself because I feeling healthy. When in the morning I get up, the Christmas morning, I get up and I start to feel some lump of water, pluck of water. I think the drink and the nonsense I was eating poisoned my skin. So they bring me to the hospital one time, and I was knocked out. I was like passed out. So they dialyzed me the same night. They put the catheter and they put the fistula for me. The catheter is the 2 tube they put by your side neck to start it, either temporary thing, and then the fistula is what I have on my hand there.
Yes.
Yeah. So they start me with the dialysis at the time. Well, the first day I dialyzed it.
Can I ask you, what year was that when you began dialysis?
2000.
2000.
Yes,
Okay.
2001.
And how old were you at that time?
I was about 26.
You were 26.
Wow.
So that's
26,
quite
27.
young. Right. But do you have an idea? I want you to continue the story, but do you have an idea what may have propelled or caused you to have had that kidney failure?
I really not sure.
You're not too sure.
I really not sure because I used to be doing farming and I used to be using a lot of different chemicals.
Okay.
Like the Mocab, the Gramazone, the Floradon.
Were you
chemicals.
using respirators?
No.
Okay.
I was not using respirator because I was checking that I do not.
Yeah.
But sometimes I spraying Gramazone and my back used to be wetting with the Gramazone and it never used to burn me nothing.
Oh.
So I just assume it could be that because
Okay.
I never suffered with any other illness before. So I just assumed that it could be maybe the chemical that build up and destroy my
And
kidneys.
before you felt the headache, you never had a history of high blood pressure
No,
before?
not what I know of.
Okay.
Not what I know of.
All right. Okay. So you were talking about the fistula.
So they put the fistula, but I had to leave it for like a while, let it heal, let it build up itself, and then I used the catheter. So I used the catheter for about 6 months to 7 months, and then they start to use it. When they send me back to Dominica, then I start to use the fistula, and then they take out the catheter. Then I use in the fistula for all that years. This one, it's since I start dialysis, it's here. But I have another one on my hand. You wanna recognize that it's here because it's not as high as this one.
Okay.
I do. Some people don't ask if it's a machine I have in my hand. Some people just say I have a machine. I do not have a machine, man. I have. What they do, they make a small surgery.
Okay.
And they attach the main vein, that's the artery and the venous, together to make it a bigger vein. So it will expand and make a bigger vein, so they will get a quicker access to dialysis.
Okay. Well, let me ask you, coming back. So you are told that you have to be dialyzed. Do you understand what that
I
word
never
means?
understand what it means.
So did they explain to you, sat down and say, well, okay, you're 75% normal function of your kidney is gone, and we have to put you on a particular machine, and this is what the machine is going to do. What was your mood like? Were you anxious? Were you nervous? Were you crying? Were you confused? What was happening then in your mind?
I would say the last one, I was confused. I was saying, what is dialysis? I never really know what is dialysis because when people used to come and see me on the ward, they used to tell me a set of things. Saying plenty things. And plenty of what they say was not true. Understand? Like, you won't be able to get erection again. You won't be able to work again. You won't be able to, it's a set of they talk. Understand? But then when I do come on dialysis, I see a different picture of dialysis. Understand? I see dialysis like my life. There's a new life. There's a new way of living. So I take it as that. Understand?
So in a sense, so what you're saying to us is that you accepting that you were diagnosed with this disease and you recognize this is it.
That's it.
It's a chronic disease. There is no turning back, and my life changes from that point. And so you accepted that diagnosis, and because of your acceptance of the diagnosis, it helped you to cope. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Now, we know as well that people who are dialyzed, they have to be on a very particular diet. There are certain things that has to be totally omitted.
Yes.
Can you share some light to that?
Well, yes. It's a very, very strict diet. But when you're on dialysis, you can be a little more outlaw that if you're not on dialysis as yet, because sometimes they look at you to see how your bone is going, because your bone is what that really close on the kidney. So the doctors will maybe look at you to see if you're ready for dialysis or if you don't. So if you don't, they don't put you on dialysis yet. You have to be on a stricter diet than if you're on dialysis. You understand? When you're on dialysis, you can be like a mogotlo. You can eat something, because when you go on the machine take out the substance.
Right.
The machine will not take it out, but you take out the substance of it.
Yes.
You understand? So the So the dialysis is how it is.
So you went from eating what
So eating,
to now? What are you eating now?
So right now, and the thing is that most of what you like, that is what you have to stay away from.
The starchy foods, the
starchy
carbohydrates.
food, the carbohydrates, the
high levels of
high
potassium.
those things like coconut water,
Ripe bananas.
Most of the fruits
Yes.
have potassium.
Yes.
Some of them higher than some, but most of fruit juice and those things they have potassium in them. You don't want to put too much load on the kidneys, because
Yes.
then remember it will make you sick.
Yes.
Understand? I've been through a lot of it, so I can testify that. I try something they call in star fruit. You know what is star fruit?
No, I don't.
You know what is star fruit?
Is it carambula?
Carambula.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
tried carambula one time. I had carambula tree at my house, and they make carambula juice, and I drank carambula. And by the end of the day, I started to get hiccup, and I hiccup for 2 weeks. They had to dialyze me. When I went to by Ross, I was talking to a doctor at Ross. He told me I could get a heart attack.
Yes, potassium.
Yes.
Had their
Yes. And mangoes. I buy some mule mango that time from a guy, and I start to eat mangoes. And I had to reach the hospital and dialyze the Sunday. We don't normally dialyze on Sunday, but I had to call in the nurse to dialyze me the Sunday, because I was diarrhea. I was going. Understand? So that is the kind of things what the way
You have to have a level of discipline.
Yes, you must discipline yourself. Have a positive aspect of what you're dealing with. That is the new life. You have to have a positive mindset. Understand? Because kidney problem, it messes a lot set of your body. You
But
understand?
I like a word that you've said, a concept that you've used, and you've used it 3 times so far on the show. The new life. The new life. You're not saying it's the end of life. You're saying it's an extension. There is a new life, and with that new life, it's an adjustment.
Yes.
That must take place.
Yes.
It's a mental change.
Yes.
It's an acceptance, and it's either do or die.
Or die.
I know that, we've known each other for a while, and I know that you have been a mentor to many people, particularly those who have been newly diagnosed and have to be using being on the machine. Many have phobias, many have misconceptions, and they've used you a lot to be almost like a help body, to really share experiences. What has it been like? I know that many people have passed on, those who have been diagnosed way later than you were, and they've passed on, and there are some that have been on dialysis for even longer time than you have. What do you think different people may have different complications. Some may have pre-existing conditions that potentially makes the kidney function even worse. But in cases where people have become careless or carefree at times, how do you help people to remain focused and not make errors that can be fatal?
The basic thing in that, Carlton, is your diet. You have to look at your diet. You have to look at what you eat, what you drink, how much you drink. Because the thing is that when you're on dialysis, you can no longer drink the same amount of juice you used to drink, or the amount of water you used to drink.
So tell me, I like that. So what amount of water, we're told that we should drink at least 8 glasses
of water
per day. So
because your kidneys work.
are function right. So when your kidneys are not functioning, how much water would you say you have to drink per day?
Well, my dietitian tell me, and my doctor, that I'm supposed to drink 1 liter to 1.5 liters of water for a day.
So that's one kubuli, large kubuli water, so to
Yes,
speak.
the bucket, the big bucket.
Yeah.
And it's not the water, it's your juice, your
So
sauce.
that has to be the total
Yes.
of fluids.
I mean, you could go, we go a little overboard. You understand?
Yeah.
We go a little overboard. But you have to look at it as that. That is what you're supposed to take. Because in the thing that, because your kidney not functioning properly, you will not be able to take out the amount of fluid you put in, or the amount of toxin
You'll have
food
swelling.
you put in. So what happens? Your body will retain the fluid.
And yeah.
So that is why you get swelling. You get swelling because your body retain the fluid. How you control that is the amount of salt you take.
Yes, because salt causes retention as well.
Yes, attract fluid. Because if I eat a piece of codfish now, I want to drink and I get so when I stop drink, I will just drink because it's salt. You feel thirsty. You understand? It's hot. You take your salt and it's hot. It's really hot. You want to drink. So how I control that, if you look at me, my skin is very flat for this amount of years on dialysis. What I does, when I home, I don't drink water. I suck ice. I suck ice. Because if you put a glass here with ice, and you put a glass of water, time the ice melt in the glass, you don't have the same amount of water you put in the full glass of
You're
water.
correct.
You understand? So you take less fluid than the amount of water you take if you suck on ice. You understand? So you can try to use that to control the amount of fluid you take.
Let me.
That was kind of clever. I have a question.
Yes.
Though. Since being diagnosed with kidney failure, how much has it cost you?
Wow.
This is a number of years.
Yes, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. But thank God for some really good friends I have.
Yeah.
I'm not working, but I have some really good friends that try their best with me.
Because a session is how much money, and that's most of it is subsidized by the government, I should say.
Yes.
So a client pays how much? It's about $150, right?
I'm not sitting because
I think it's about $150 per session, and you would have to do that like 3 times per week.
Yes.
So we're talking about $450 per week, if it has to be.
Yeah.
And noting that government subsidizes at least 80%.
Well, the thing is that when I went to Guadeloupe, the doctor tell me in Guadeloupe, there is nobody in the world that can afford the cost of dialysis.
I can imagine.
The cost of dialysis is very high. And thank God for the government that try their best to see what they can do for us. You understand? Because if you go dialysis and you look at the machine, you will see that everything you use, some of it you have to dump it. You understand? Imagine yourself using disposable dishes at your home. And then every time you use a cup or a thing, you have to throw it in the rubbish and you have to buy again. You have to throw it in the rubbish and you have to buy again. So that's how dialysis really look like. To me, that's how I see it. You understand? Because you have to use the niggers, you have to use the tubings, you have to use the dialyzer, that is what you call the artificial kidneys. You have to use tape. You understand? And the nurses and doctors and them, and those that with us, they really doing a good job. Because there is not a day I went to dialysis for my years I am dialysis and told that I cannot dialyse today, I gotta go back home.
Wow. Because I remember even in Erica, they were calling people like you to come to the hospital.
They take me from the Coast Guard to come and bring me hospital.
Wow.
You understand? So there is never
they recognize the importance.
Yes, there is never a day that I was told that I cannot be dialyzed. It's always a day. And I'm grateful for that opportunity, because on dialysis for that amount of years, I doesn't feel sick. I doesn't feel sick. I used to be sick. Understand? When my parathyroid was giving me some problem, then my calcium was, you see my fingers, my calcium was building up and taking me, so I was really sick until the doctor take it out for me. So it's bring me back to almost normal. I can run, I walk extra fast. I try my best to take care of myself, watch my diet, watch what I eat, what I drink, and just have a positive mind of it. So by that's how I go on my day.
I mean, Bruno, you
such an inspiration.
I'm telling you.
And you know, when he said, thank God for the government, I really appreciate that. I always feel such a deep appreciation for when people do appreciate what is being done for them. It's such an amazing thing to hear, you know?
And I think as well, too, even for me as a taxpayer, it makes me feel that my taxes are valuable. That because I'm paying taxes, it's helping clients like he. Because without taxes, without we paying the VAT and without we paying taxes, to the government, those services cannot be sustainable.
Right.
And so that's why it's important sometimes for us to think of things from a broader perspective when we pay those type of taxes.
That's right.
I just want to touch on one more thing before. I want to talk on about maybe, I don't know if you have something to say about the discrimination.
We will definitely, because we have time, but we want to see the numbers. So if you really want to share your own experience, you might be home and you too is on dialysis, so you know somebody is, or you want to encourage the young man who is here, you want to talk a bit about it, you can feel free to call our numbers 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, 616-4257. If you're calling from overseas, you can call 305-432-9624.
I do have a question though. What advice would you have for somebody who is undergoing the same challenges as you, who's new to this, or even farmers, or just the general public in protecting themselves? What advice would you have for them?
Well, the advice I would have for them is pray. Number one, prayers can move mountain. Number two, take care of yourself. Self come first. Take care of yourself. Listen to the doctors. Listen to the professionals. Listen to the people that work with you. Understand? Nobody knows everything. We all have to help each other to understand what we are going through and how we should do it. So by the end of the day, you can live long as me. I don't know how long I'm going to live again. But if you listen and you take care of yourself, you try your best to take care of yourself, take care of what you're supposed to do, take your medication, exercise. Do not sit down at home and say your life end, because dialysis is not a death sentence. It is not the end of your life. It will never be. Kidney problem, dialysis don't kill anybody, you know. You know that? It's the complications you get. You understand? By ignoring what the professionals are saying.
Or ignoring what your body is telling you.
Your body just have a language talking to you, you know. My body just talking language to me. Tell me when I had enough. Or when I can't go, when I cannot go more. You understand? As I on dialysis for that amount of time, I know exactly what to take, what I can do, the amount my body can take, because I test myself already. I drove for a number of years.
Let's take this call. I'm so in sync. Good morning, caller. Thanks for calling.
Yes, good morning.
Morning to you, and how are you?
All right, thank you.
All right.
Good morning to your guest.
Yes.
Morning.
It is nice when someone is suffering from a certain illness, that they learn about it.
Yes.
You see how he's explaining?
Yes.
He has learned about it.
For real.
Right.
Unlike I've seen some people and they have suffering from certain diseases and they don't know nothing.
It's true.
You understand?
Yes.
Because they don't make their
effort
to learn. But he can tell you, he knows what to do, what not to do, how to go about things. And I love to hear patients talk like that about the illness.
That's true.
Because it means they can master it.
Yes.
That's right.
Understand?
That's
and
right.
another thing, when he said when he went to the hospital and people come telling him all sorts of things, that is a bad thing.
Yes.
You have to know what to tell a patient when you go and see a patient. You understand? You're not
a medical professional.
Right, and you're not killing the patient before the patient ready to die.
Yeah,
Right.
you don't want to confuse
if you see
them.
the patient is looking bad, you tell him, oh, you're looking nice and whatsoever. You don't tell the person those things. Expect that. Leave that to the professionals.
Yes.
You understand? Anyway, I'm listening.
Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
the call.
And I like that she made that point
Yes.
about when people come to the hospital and tell you things. It's the stigma and the discrimination associated with it, because they don't even know the truth.
True.
They don't even know what dialysis is. They don't know
Right.
what kidney failure is. And here it
Right.
is. They'll come and tell you all kinds of things.
Good
Let's
morning,
take this
caller.
call.
Thanks for
Good
calling.
morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning to you.
all.
Thank you.
And especially the gentleman here
Yes.
Good morning.
Mr.
Good
Bruno.
morning.
who has a story.
Yes.
I have to say that I am encouraged by the gentleman. I don't have the situation, but I'm very encouraged by him, because it is good to see that someone who has such an illness can be so positive.
Yes.
And a positive mental attitude is always the best
True.
catalyst for recovery from
Yes.
whatever situation we may be faced with. So, and the other thing that I'm also encouraged by is how the gentleman has taken interest in his situation. He's gotten to understand it, so he knows how to deal with it.
Yes.
He's not depending on someone. I mean, he obviously obtains the professional opinions
Yes.
and so on, but for his day-to-day survival and living his normal life, he understands what he's supposed to do. And let me end by saying that I am very happy that the gentleman made the point that he believes, and I am one of those who believe, sir, that your situation came about because of that exposure to those dangerous chemicals without using appropriate clothing
Yes.
when doing that.
Yes.
I drive around, I would say, quite frankly, the vast majority of people that I see using those things, they do not have any protective clothing.
True.
And obviously they don't understand how dangerous this is. And so, sir, what you have said today, I hope many people are listening. I wouldn't even say farmers, because a lot of people are not farmers. People spray these things around their home. I hope they're listening and understand how dangerous this is and why it is important that the first way to deal with the situation that the gentleman has is for us to remove ourselves as much as possible, or the exposure to all these dangerous chemicals. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your contribution.
Thank
Just
you.
meant a lot. You know, I mean, Mr. Bruno, I am so really touched by the information that you've given to us. I want to talk about some other crises that you've experienced. I know at times you most likely have gone through a crisis or two. Yeah. What do you think brought you back? So you may have been in an intensive care unit maybe once or twice.
I never been there.
Never been there.
No.
But
I was done.
You were done.
I was done.
What do you think brought you back?
The power of the Almighty Father.
Power of God.
Amen. Amen.
Not my strength. I have no strength. I have no strength to do that. I mean, God do it. I've been healed. Huh? And I want to say that, Carlton, kidney, I do sick. I'm not sick. Okay? I have a medical condition. And I get in treatment for it. So I'm okay. I'm okay. That's how I think about it every day. I have a medical condition and I get in treatment for it and I'm okay.
Yes.
Sick is when you lie down on hospital bed and somebody come and turn you and twist you and help you and this and that. I all about.
Yes, it's true.
I love that declaration.
I all about. What bring me back? I was really down one time. 2009, 2012, 2009 to 10, 11, 12. I was really down. I went to Barbados on wheelchair. I couldn't put up my head. I was down. And I used to be praying a lot. And one day, I was in my hotel room in Barbados, and I get a call from some pastor in Portsmouth, Pastor Benji. Call me. The first time I never take the call. The second time when I take the call, I was praying. I take the call. He said, Landa. I say, yes, Pastor. Landa, I dream I get a healing. Them time my foot was swollen, my hand was swollen, my face, I was just swollen. I was big. I could not walk. I could not do anything for myself. And when he tell me I dream I get a healing, I say, Pastor, it's true. I claim it immediately. I never think twice to just claim that healing. I needed it. So when he tell me that, I say, Pastor, that's true. I'm healed. Normally, I could not get off my bed. My partner, the person that was with me, my caretaker that was with me at the time, could help me get off the bed and thing. I walk to go in the bathroom and bathe. And I leave the breakfast and I go by the road and take the bus. I was healed. When I reached when I Barbados in the hospital to go
Queen
for
Elizabeth
dialysis.
Hospital?
No, it was a private clinic.
Okay.
To go and take the dialysis. I would take the elevator to go up. I walk the stairs. When I reach upstairs, the nurses asked me, Bruno, what happened to you? I say, I'm healed. I'm healed.
Powerful.
And from that, I'm healed. Understand? Yes. So it's not my strength. I just doing what I could do and I let God do the rest for me because they say it works.
I read a book some time ago, the power of confession, and the author was saying that confession brings manifestation, that what we confess each day that's what is going to be manifested in our lives. And so when you made that declaration on that particular day, basically you manifested your healness, your healing immediately. And you made it a lifestyle.
Yes.
That it was part of you, and you never let that go. Never let that go. Even when you felt down on a particular day,
plenty time
you
I just
kept
feel
that.
Down. I just feel down a lot of time
this
because
is so deep.
dialysis is going hospital 3 days a week. It's plenty.
Yeah.
Staying on that machine for 4 hours. It's plenty. You understand?
4 hours.
You have to. You just have to just. I just cannot. I don't know how to explain it, but you have to really have to have that
inner strength.
Inner strength, the strength to live. You understand? For you to be able to kind of just say, okay, that's it. Because a lot of us on dialysis, I mean, we have different problems we're going through. You understand? People have different things they're going through in life. You understand? But I take my strength from God. I always pray. I live alone for the past 7 years. I do everything for myself. You understand? But God is my strength. You understand? He really. And those little friends, those couple friends I have around me, and I'm not feeling well, I would call them and say, yeah, I'm feeling good today, you know. I mean, I'm just feeling depressed, I'm feeling frustrated. I mean, I need some comfort. You understand? So they would tell me, be courage and think, and you know where you've been and how you are now, and think. I was done. I was walking on stick, Carlton. You never see me walking on stick? I was walking on stick. And sometimes I used to leave the stick at home and try to go possible by myself. I rather reach halfway. I had to call my neighbor because I put the stick on the porch. So I had to call my neighbor and tell him, I can't make it. Bring the stick for me, please. You understand? Because I try to motivate myself to do my thing. Because that is how you have to do it. You have to be strong. You have to be strong for you.
Let's take this call. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Lando.
Good morning to you, my friend.
Sir.
How are you?
Good morning.
I'm doing fine. Sir, it's nice listening to you and all your complications you had during that, as you have that problem there. I'd like to know how you first felt when you realized you had that problem. What really, how I would put that? How you started feeling?
Okay.
I think I explained that.
Yeah, but you maybe cut it late.
I didn't pick up everything you were saying. You said you had some pain.
Yes, I was just feeling my head was like kind of reeling me and kind of painful.
Okay.
So that prompted me to go to the hospital at Portsmouth to take to check my blood pressure to see how it is. And so because I was an active person, driving, running up and down and everything, and then that pain in my head and things, so I just decided to go and take a test to see, go and check it out to see what's going on.
So you never felt any pain around your back, your chest, nothing?
No, my back, my back don't really hurt me. I don't really have no pain.
So you used to urinate properly?
I urinate, but clear water. And I say, why my pee clean way, boy? How come my pee clean sooner? But it's the toxin that not coming up because people supposed to have a color over scent.
Yes.
So that is it. Sometimes I was peeing white for years.
Okay. All right.
And you never realized.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for information.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And I like that he just made the distinction between the urine being clear and the toxins not coming out of the system because, like he said, the urine is supposed to be colored and even have a scent sometimes. And when you don't see those things, you should question it. It's not that your urine is clean and nothing has gone into the system. Because we do sometimes make that mistake. Wow, my urine is white. But we have to be concerned about that.
Yes. But Bruno, I wanted to really ask you on. Let's talk a little about the discrimination that people who are dialyzed face. And I have, as a medical, professional, I have witnessed it myself. I have seen it. Our society can be quite harsh at times, particularly people look at the fistulas and people
see
look at the lumps, and then you're on a bus and somebody may not want to sit by you. Sometimes, according to the age and the complications that comes with it, some people may not be all into themselves. Talk a little about that.
I've been suffering a lot with that, for that discrimination thing. I don't know for other patients, but I'm a street person.
Yeah,
I'm an outspoken person. I'm a person that don't like to stay in house.
That's true.
You understand? So I drove bus for a number of years without people know I have kidney problem. They never knew. Some know, some don't know. People riding with me all the time. From the time I first sick in 2009, get a little down, and they get to know, well, that is what I have. Wow. Kidney problem? He's sick, he can just fall down and kill. And
Crash the bus.
Yes. A man met me and he bought a small bus for me. He met me, sit on Borough Square. He said, how come you're not driving again? I said, well, I don't have nothing to drive, so I just say, how are you working? How are you eating? I tell him, well, I don't do nothing. People that helping me. He said, okay, if I buy a little bus for you to do taxi, you can do it. I tell him, of course, sure. So he buy the bus for me. He buy it for me now. Little space of time, I don't know if he had the money waiting, but he go and he buy the little bus for me. I run in Picard. Portsmouth to Picard. You know, people used to fret to hop the bus because I run in Picard, saying, but I so sick I can pass out. And I know the false fix. I had to get him on the back of the bus.
And that is ignorance. Some people really lack of knowledge.
Yeah, that is lack of knowledge. You don't know, so you just assuming, and that is they're very strong.
Because guess what? You have diabetics who are more likely to have a blackout.
They're driving every day.
Right, and they're driving every day, and people don't always know.
No.
And many of them sometimes are not even adherent to their medications.
Yes.
Like, I know that for a fact.
And where they're strong, I know that is what I have.
Yeah.
I take care of it. You understand? So if I know I could not drive, I don't drive. Because I know I'm supposed to drink coconut water and I'm not taking it. And I know I'm supposed to eat plenty mango, I'm not eating plenty mango. And the sickness. So if I know I should not drive, I would not drive. So people just start to discriminate and recognize. Up till last week, I got a tongue lashing from a guy that talking about, why shouldn't I be driving? Everybody saying I shouldn't be driving. I just pass out. I think I never passed out yet.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't want, if I tell him if you want to know, ask me.
The miseducation.
I can tell him.
All right, let's take this call. Good morning, caller.
Yes, it's me again.
Yes, ma'am.
See, our people do not read.
Yes.
They don't tend to educate themselves. And they tend to bring up their own ideas about sickness or whatever. But our people not reading people for them to know about things. They're just ignorant of the facts that these things can happen. But you have to know about the thing for you to know.
Yes.
You know, you have to in the know for you to know.
Yes.
See? That is our people, ignorant.
Yes. Thank you, caller. Bruno, but let me ask you though, is there an association or a group, some type of social, because I think that would be good too, because then you would have the sensitization about the disease and people more understand. You know, like you have the Dominica Cancer Society, you have the Lupus Foundation, you have the Sickle Cell Foundation.
Yes.
I think that might be something that would be good to start.
We try to form an association. But the other thing is that because of the discrimination, people don't want people to know, plenty patients don't want people to know their kidney problem. Don't call their name.
Oh, wow.
You understand? So anytime you reach an association kind of thing, people will be in the public eye.
Oh, yeah.
You understand?
Okay.
So that, I mean, it's sad but true.
You
understand? It's sad, but it is very true. You understand? It's better nobody never know I have kidney problem. Because I would be living my life more comfortable. Because they know I have kidney problem, they believe that is the end of my life. He's supposed to go. I don't be walking on the road, Carlton. It's people watching me, and I can see they talking about me, you know.
Wow.
I can see they talking about me. They're making me feel uncomfortable. You understand? Because my kidney problem is not contagious. Kidney problem is not contagious. If they see me talking to a girl, you're supposed to say, hey, you're talking, you're loving Mr. Man. Mr. so sick. He's a sick man that way. And I'm not sick. I have a medical condition. Leave me, let me live. You understand? I mean, if you cannot say something good, just don't say it.
I truly feel this so strongly. And this says a lot about our society. I think it does give the fact that we are very judgmental, we're very ill-informed, and we are very, very prejudicial. And this is really not good, because we are all susceptible to get ill at any given
Anytime.
day. I drive. This morning I was driving to work, and somebody almost ran into me, and I felt that this person would have killed me, or I could have become disabled in less points. And that's how we are. We just, things can happen at our journey at any given day. And so when we as a civil people do things like that, hurt people's feelings, discriminate against somebody because of a disability or because they're ill, this is shameful. And I will say that this is shameful, and we should feel bad about ourselves doing things like that. I really cannot tolerate that type of behavior.
I mean, it's sad, I tell you. It's really sad, I tell you. I on the street every day, and I feel it. So now when I go home in the night, I just cry, Carlton.
Right.
I just cry because I can be still productive. Huh?
Yes.
I can be still productive. I can still do work. I can still do. I mean, it take from me dialysis, but I can still do something for myself. You understand? To take care of myself, because I have to take care of myself.
Right.
I cannot just give up and say life end.
Yeah.
Life never end here.
But when you say those things, it only gives credence to the fact that people who are dialyzed, because of that stigma, that's why they hide their diagnosis, and that's why they don't want anybody to know, and that needs to change. Our healthcare providers need to help to educate people. We may need, our health promotion unit may need to come up with some campaigns and programs to actually help to educate the
because
public.
There's a lot of more people like me that are going to be around. A lot of people like me, young man, that want to work, and because of the kind of way it is in this society, that they might just give up. Right. It's easy to give up,
right? And easy. Not only that, Bruno, one of the major risk factors for chronic kidney failure is uncontrolled diabetes and high blood pressure. And those are extremely common in Dominican society.
Plenty.
So you, as a diabetic or hypertensive who is not adherent to medications, who is obese, who is, not doing what you're supposed to do, not changing your diet, you are prone to develop chronic kidney failure at any given time. And so you have to start thinking of yourself that way. That what if it were me? Would I want people to look at me differently? And I think we need to change our mentality. I'm extremely passionate about this. And I truly believe that it is really, really wrong for us to be discriminating against anyone with any type of illness.
Anything. Yeah.
All right, we have a caller. Okay. But what's the way forward for people with dialysis? We're just winding up. What's the way forward? What would be your last final word for those who have chronic kidney failure, and for people who do not have the disease and need to understand those with that disease?
Well, I can only say that those people with or that of the dialysis, be strong, take care of yourself, watch your diet, exercise. Do not stay at home and say that you're sick. You don't sick, you have a medical condition. The nurses and the doctors in Princess Market trying their best.
Yeah.
So we need to give them that energy to help them with to realize that they're doing something good.
Yes.
That when they come, when we come in on the dialysis, or we come in the unit, that they want to see every time we come we are sick, because we're not doing what we're supposed to do.
Yes.
You check? Because they also need encouragement,
yes,
just as we do. You understand? People that need to understand what is going on with dialysis patient, get information, read. If you see me on the street, ask me. I don't know it all.
Yes.
But I can say my experience. I can give you my experience and make you know, hey, that is it, that is what, that is what. You understand? Not to just stay on a side and when you see me, point your finger at me and say, look the sick man coming. I don't go buy a stuff and sit my money and buy my sickness, and you don't have more. So I buy all. Anybody can get kidney problem at any time. Anybody can get something at any time. Something can just come up. I was telling somebody, I know what I have, I can take care of myself, especially when they tell me the nonsense. You know what you have? Do you know what you have? Because if you know what you have, you can take care of yourself. But if you don't know what you have, what you can do?
True.
So then you're waiting for a bomb to bust on you there.
Yeah.
And then a bomb that you're telling me I sick, but a bomb there waiting for you there. So waiting for you there. And when it hits you, you can't take it.
Yeah.
You understand? So you have to be careful. You check? Do it. Just try your best. to be careful, help people like me. Help me to help myself.
Sure.
So that I can be strong and be productive, because I want to be productive. I want to do something to help myself. I want to be able to can at least one month and get a $10 in my hand and say, hey, I can go down the road and buy a pound of sugar for me to put at my home. Or I can pay a bus to go to Roseau. I have to go from Roseau to Portsmouth 3 days every week. You understand? And then it'll be tight for me. Sometimes bus drivers need money. Everybody need money. I can't jump on a man bus every day and do pay him. There are people that just check me good bus drivers and good friends that will give me a ride and do what I did. There are some of them they need their money. Some of them working for people they have to comes up when the end of the day or the end of the week or the end of the month. So that's what I think about it.
I know that this show has been maybe one of the most touching shows for me in since we've been doing this. And we at Jollies, we have a token for you, and so we truly appreciate you being on board. We know that, so we want to give you. So on behalf of the company, I have just given you a token.
Yes, I thank
from
you very much.
us,
Thank
and
you.
we truly appreciate your resilience. We appreciate your faith and your courage, and we really want to say a huge thank you for being on Health Vibes, but even more importantly, for sharing such a passionate and real life story with our listeners. We truly want to thank you and wish you well, wish you the best, that you can be the best version of yourself.
Thank you very much, Carlton.
That's
I appreciate.
Right. I know that for me and even some of our listeners, we have taken something from this conversation, from this dialogue today, and we just pray for you to be, healed, continue healing, and just to be blessed in whatever you do. God is good, and hearing him today saying, I don't have strength, my strength comes from God is very powerful. And just to hear your story has been very touching, and I'm sure we all can take something from it, whether it's protecting ourselves, whether it's moving forward and having a positive attitude. Like he said, any one of us can get sick at any day, any given time, and we can have a medical condition, and I applaud your strength.
Yes.
I definitely do. And I pray that you continue with that same attitude and don't let anything and anyone get you down.
Yes.
It's very important that we remain strong, and it's very important that as people we support each other.
Definitely.
And he is an example of what government talks about. People who want to be productive,
Yes.
people who want to work. There are some who can work and who don't, and who don't have a desire or the ambition to.
Yes.
But here is a man who has the desire, the ambition to do something and to be productive for himself.
Yes.
And he sometimes is not able to because of the discrimination.
Yes.
So thank you so much for being here today and for sharing your story.
You're most
with
welcome,
us.
and I
Thank
appreciate
you.
everything. I appreciate you guys. So excited. I was kind of nervous when I come in, but I pulled myself together and I did it. And I thank you.
Yeah, and we pray that when you leave here today, life begins to take on a new meaning for you,
Right.
and that people will regard
Yes.
kidney failure and dialysis
Right.
as something totally different than what they
Totally
had
different,
thought
yes,
or
yes.
imagined.
Yes.
And that, maybe even some people will come and say, you know what, we apologize.
Yes.
I think that's the biggest thing that we can do, is leave here today and take something from this conversation.
Definitely.
So
Right now I'm going to dialysis.
Right.
I'm telling this is I'm coming. Prepare for me, I'm coming.
Right. So Dominica, we leave you by saying, go out, do something, and say something good and productive and helpful to someone today. I'm your host, Carlton.
and I'm
Until
Pearl
next time.
Fontaine. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome, sir.
You're listening to Health Vibes. You were listening to Health Vibes, a production of Jolly's Pharmacy Limited.